Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds Night here on our lovely Lance's channel from Beast of War. I am Ben, and I am playing the fighter Warforged by the name of Ward, a happy-go-lucky scamp. Can't really call him a scamp, he's pretty freaking massive, but that is me. And I will pass you over to Lance, who's going to introduce himself and his character.
Oh, well, thank you, Ben. I am Lance, and I am known as Rhubarb Mossfinger in the land of Dungeons and Dragons. I am a halfling druid, and I am excited to do another adventure with this ramshackle crew of adventurers. I'll pass you over to the famous Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm playing the Dwarven Cleric Baldwin Flintfoot, surprisingly. I thought he'd be dead by now, but he's not, so good times. And I'll pass you off to the one skulking back there in the shadows wearing the cloak. Chris.
Hello, I am the Dungeon Master for this adventure. To recap, our adventurers have been traveling to a city called Tintato, which is constructed around a fortress golem that is an enormous, unused war machine of prehistoric times. They're inside the city. They have spent the night in the Giant Slayer's Inn, which is an inn owned by a giant who is also a slayer by occupation. During the night, awoken by bad dreams, Rhubarb, who off-camera assures me his name is Reburb, despite introducing himself as Rhubarb, he had some bad dreams, not necessarily prophetic, but bad. He awoke, and they found a hobgoblin inside the inn, waiting at the bar to deliver a message to the town's guard when they came to arrest him. Under a flag of truce, he handed over the letter and then found himself crossed blades with a local guardsman. And that is where our story continues from.
Woohoo!
So, the tension between these two characters with their crossed blades standing with the bar between them and the eyeball resting on the bar watching the scene. The tension feels like in a second, an entire week has passed. In that void of time and tension, what's going through everyone's minds?
Well, I'd like to know, I'm pretty sure the knight guy, he's taken 3 swings at the goblin, I think, so far, maybe 2 or 3. But
Yeah.
has the goblin ever struck back at him other than to try and dodge?
I think the goblin swung back once and missed, and it was more out of anger than like he's giving the impression that he's trying to control himself, but that's not going to last.
Okay. Ward will, because I think he's got his sword drawn anyway at this point. Anyway, he'll step forward and he'll shout at the guard, "Put down your blade. This goblin is completely surrounded. If he was going to try and escape or try and kill one of us, he would have done it already. Put it down, you stupid fool."
I gasp. I don't want to be killed.
Okay, the sound of your commanding voice momentarily gets the attention of the guard, who looks over his shoulder at you. And as he does, the goblin leaps up onto the bar, hobgoblin even, leaps up onto the bar, and then does a vertical leap, digging both of his clawed weapons, appendages, hands, into the balcony of the floor above him, and begins to spryly pull himself up onto the second story of the tavern.
God damn it!
How light is Reburb? Can I throw Reburb, is what I'm trying to ask.
The balcony is about 8 feet off the ground.
I am 40 kilos.
Okay, can we do some team action here where I throw him to Ward and then Ward launches him up onto the balcony? Yeah. What do we need to roll to make that magic happen? And then for Lance to tackle him as he's soaring through the air.
I would say you roll a strength check, and Lance can roll an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Both at a fairly low difficulty, but you're going to need two between them.
Think fast, Reverb!
I'm thinking fast.
I got a
Do
14.
you want me to roll as well, or?
Okay, yeah. Now that he's in your sort of on you, I mean you're
Okay.
holding the sword, but you can
Right.
do a
I
bit of
want-
a shrug and.
I'm going to preface this by saying that every check I make that isn't an attack fails. So, see,
Throw him into the ceiling.
Just smack into the ceiling.
Yeah,
My head is
basically,
poking
Ward is
through the
not-
tiles
Ward
outside.
does not see this coming.
That's all right. It's not a complete. You're not far off. It wasn't a high difficulty. Basically, because you're about 8 feet tall. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
So really, you just need to kind of stand up, and Reverb does the. It's not crazy swift, so by the time Reverb's up on the balcony, he's kind of lugging himself over the banister. The goblin has already landed and disappeared into a room.
Yeah. What was
Meanwhile,
this plan about?
I don't
Chase him, Reverb! Chase him!
Oh, okay.
I'll so head up the stairs.
okay, the guard points at Faldwin as he begins to turn around and walk. The staircase that leads up to the balcony is in the opposite direction to where the bar is. It's sort of near the entrance, whereas the bar is opposite the entrance. So, in order to get up onto the balcony, you kind of have to run away from the scene. So, as you turn to move away, the guard says, "Halt! In the name of the princess!"
I don't think I'd stop. if the staircase that I'm going eventually leads to where the goblin went,
Yeah.
then I'd be too focused on just charging up, and because obviously I'm the plan maker. I obviously know everything that's correct.
It's not your princess.
Okay. The guard gives chase immediately. He's still got his sword drawn, but it's not a charge. It's kind of the impression that his chase is giving. He is in full armor, so it takes him a few seconds to get up to speed.
Ward will follow them up the stairs as well. Then
Okay,
behind.
you guys are all
guard.
heading towards the stairs. Reverb, you see this hobgoblin, disappear into the room to the left of Gildrun's bedroom.
I follow chase.
Okay. You come around the corner, and the bedroom window is open, and the curtains are billowing out of the window.
Oh, blast. I look around the room first.
Okay.
And see if I can spot him. Maybe this might be more of a trick rather than
Yeah.
him actually escaping out the window.
Okay, you don't see anything in the room, but you do hear a pained grunt from outside the window.
Blast. I look out the window.
Okay, so one story down, halfway down the bar, there's a lower tier of street. Below the street, the bridges that lead to the tavern, and this goblin has leapt onto a low roof, and you can see he's sort of running away, and goblin blood and a crater in the tiles where he seems to have hit the rooftops and rolled. And you can see him. He's not too far away, maybe 2 moves at full speed, running away.
Okay.
But it is quite a fall.
Is he limping or anything?
He is limping. He's definitely done himself some damage.
Okay, I can use my nimble something. Halfling nimbleness. You can move through a space of... Oh, balls.
halfling nippleness. Yeah.
I thought that was like I could traverse terrain easily, but it's more of just being able to pass around bigger people.
Well, you could ace another acrobatics roll.
Yes, I will do a flamboyant flip out the window, and
Wow.
as I roll,
There's extra difficulty for flamboyance, by the way.
That's a +10 to the
+3. Look at that!
Wow.
I flip outside the window, and as my beard flows in the natural breeze as I reach gravity.
You land, you roll, not even a tile is broken, you stand upright. You see to the left of you, there's a second-story window and a couple of baffled-looking people sitting around a dinner table, looking open-jawed at the majesty of it. And they slowly lift up bits of card with 10 written on it.
I
This
quickly
happens a lot clearly at this tavern.
I quickly bow and follow Chase towards the goblin,
give
hoping to catch up.
Okay. The other two, Faldwin and Ward, by the time you reach the room, you can just about maybe see these two disappearing off over the roof tiles in the distance. And you hear behind you a knock at the door.
I'm going to let Faldwin deal with the door.
Okay.
Ward shrugs off his longbow and takes aim at the goblin to see if he can hit it from this far away.
Yep, it's in range.
Cool. He's going to go for like a wounding shot to see if he can give Rhubarb some time. So
Okay.
go for it. Oh my god. Oh no, it's 11. It's 11. It's not 4. But it's 11.
I'm pretty sure 11 is not enough.
Shut up. Yo, okay.
I'm
It's
pretty
super
sure it
close.
hit.
You take a chimney pot off that smashes on the ground. 2 seconds later, Reburb's little old hobbit feet pitter-patter past it. At which point you hear the guard come up to the entrance to the room behind the two of you, and he say, "I said you're under arrest."
Arrest for what?
I'm fully sure I'll have thought of something by the time I get you around.
Perhaps it is you we should arrest. Even the threat of arresting a chosen seeker. Back in the days, we would have had your head for that, soldier. And to see that you let the goblin go, incompetence as well. And I'm
The goblin wouldn't have gotten away if you hadn't have interfered.
No one interfered. You got distracted.
Your golem interfered. What is wrong with your golem?
I am no golem. I am a warforged. And I'll have you know, that goblin wouldn't not have got into such a tizzy if you hadn't drawn your sword on him. We could have talked to the stupid creature.
That is an enemy of the kingdom.
It was an enemy of the kingdom who had come here under a banner of parley, and you threatened it with its life. Now we may know nothing more than it could have given.
It is a goblin. Its parley was merely a trick to kill and poison. What if it had poisoned the water? What if it had found our food stores and burned them?
And I am a cleric with the ability to cure such poisons on food and water. And we would not have let it near it. We would have questioned it. I am sure it had valuable information that we could have used. And I'm sort of like gesturing towards the doll that's maybe nestled in Ward's armor at the minute.
Creepy freaking thing.
One of the kittens is like sleeping on it, like a pillow.
Probably the first time I've noticed it. Like, how did you get in there?
Now, unless you're going to actually arrest me, I'm going to go out this window and find my friend.
I have actually arrested you. This is an arrest.
We have bigger issues at hand. See if they arrest until we deal with this goblin. Our friends
Yes.
out there alone.
There are bigger issues at hand. There is a war with goblins. There's another. The knocking at the door becomes more aggressive at this point.
Oh, he's not in? Oh, I'd let him
That's
in.
The
If
knocking,
I'm just talking to the door.
the knocking at the door is the front door of the tavern.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Is being knocked on separately to the encounter. In the corridor behind the guard, your friend, bleary-eyed and wearing 3 dressing gowns sewn into one. Your friend Gildren appears,
Whoa.
rubbing sleep
There he
thighs
is.
with the back of his wrist.
Gildren, if you could please talk some sense into this guard, I need to go and try and find Rhubarb. Reburb, that's his name.
The Gildren says, "Is there any way I can convince you all just to go back to bed?"
Oh, what time is it now?
It's 5 a.m.
Oh.
God. Well, that doesn't matter to me, I suppose. Look, I'm pleading with you, please, sir. Whoever you were with before, that strange lady with the tentacles on her face, she seemed perfectly fine with letting us get on with our business. So if you could let us do the same and find our friend, we will come and report to you whenever we need to. I promise you. I cannot lie.
Okay. So I am going to switch over to Reverb right now.
Okay.
Catch up. He's been up to.
Stop!
And Reverb dies.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Stop now!
So as you run tactfully across the rooftops, hopping from rooftop to rooftop, half after this crippled, not crippled's a bit harsh, this wounded goblin.
Uh-huh.
Out of the corner of your eye, you notice that the moon is blood red, like how it was in your dream.
I didn't know that at all. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm the dungeon master. I know what happened in your dream. Okay.
Is the goblin reacting to me, or is it still running away from me?
The goblin is still running away.
Oh man.
The two of you are now in the shadow of the wall of the city, which towers above the both of you.
Okay.
He seems to be running towards the wall. He keeps looking back over his shoulder and seeing that you're getting closer. Between the two of you-
just as he's looking over his shoulder at me, I would like to cast Druidcraft to create what looks like a firebolt, like a flash of light in front of his face as he's about to look back, in hopes that he will be shocked by it and stumble backwards.
Okay. Druidcraft is kind of
It's a
nature oriented.
Cantrip. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like you can make plants grow and things be a bit flowery, but I will allow you to kind of use burst of fireflies or something.
I can create a tiny effect which tells me the weather for the next 24 hours, but it does have a visual effect of like a lighting orb.
Okay. So you're going to tell him what the weather is, and as a side effect, momentarily.
Yep.
Okay. So as you do, he sort of shakes his head and looks back in the direction he was going, and he is approaching a jump.
Oh
There's
no. As whenever he's looking back at me, I'd like to cast it in front of him so that when he looks forward, he's suddenly
see.
surprised, and hopefully surprised.
Okay, so he makes his jump at disadvantage over the empty street below.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a second D20 here? I do. And he lands it, but not comfortably. He lands half on sort of the rooftop, hits him in the chest. He claws at the tiles a few times, and then slowly drags himself up. At which point you reach the edge of the same jump, and you can choose to either stop or try and clear it.
Can I take a diving swing at him with my broomstick club?
Yeah, so you're trying to both clear the jump and hit him on the other side as you land.
Yes, boy.
Okay. Give me a strength roll for the jump.
Okay. Oh my.
Drum roll, please. 10. You
Yippee.
land it as awkwardly as he did. The two of you are left scrabbling at this tiled edge next to each other, and he gets up moments before you do. And so he starts off towards the very base of the wall, which is where he has now pretty much reached. Your move. You've scrabbled up. You're less than a turn behind him. Sort of you're right on his heels.
Okay, let's see. Is there anything I can throw at him? Can I throw a roof tile at him?
Yeah, there's chunks of roof tile all around your feet.
Yeah, I'd like to throw it like a frisbee and try and aim at his damaged leg.
Okay, are you sprinting to keep up with him, or are you going to allow yourself to fall behind and take aim?
I think I'll take aim. He's already
Okay.
slowed down a little bit, so I think it'd be best to take aim.
Yeah.
What would you like for that?
I think a throw. I think it's just a. What is it? Roll a d20 plus Dex to throw a non-proficient weapon.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Throw
18.
18. Okay. I have no idea what damage for a roof tile is, but feel free to roll it.
I think it's probably about D4, I'd imagine. But...
Yeah, sounds good. Throw me a d4.
3.
Wow, that's a hefty roof tile.
This roof tile just it flies and it bounces off the back of this goblin's head in a way that kind of makes him stumble forward. And he's on track. He starts. So there's a zigzagged staircase leading up the inside of the city of Tintato, and his approach to climbing this is not to go from left to right up the staircase, but instead to just start using every loose rock and every gap he can to climb straight up it.
Okay.
It's not quick, but it might be quicker than going zigzagging up it.
I'm going to test my luck and go zigzagging up it.
Okay. So you're faster than him because you didn't injure yourself on the jump out of the tavern window.
Perfect 10.
So you are able to pretty much keep pace with him as he gets towards the top. It's a long way up, and both of you, by the time you reach the top, whatever you try, are going to be at disadvantage. Like, you are both shattered by the time you get to the top of the tower. Top of the wall. And as you get to the top, his face is illuminated red by the blood moon behind you. And you can see the gathered village almost now below of the refugees from the Badlands who have traveled to Tintato seeking sanctuary below you.
Yep.
And this goblin has nowhere to run.
Stop! You have nowhere to run. You... oh, those steps were tough, weren't they? Meanwhile, why are you running?
Okay, do you speak goblin?
Halfling in common.
I see. This goblin, he says something. Give me an intelligence check. I might be able to tell you sort of what the vibe is.
It's a series of whistles and clicks.
Yeah.
Well.
I get the impression that he might be swearing at you aggressively.
Stop that! Stop that now.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell.
It's not very nice, you know. I'm going to take you back. So if you would like to come safely, we can arrange that. If not, I will gladly take you by force.
Oh dear. So the goblin reaches into the purple fur poncho that he's wearing, and he pulls out a knife that a very short but very wide knife, tapers to a point, and it's what's the word? It's
Cleaver.
corrugated
Oh.
along its length, and it has teeth in it that are both irregular and some of them have flat points to them. You, out of character, would recognize its shape to like a Yale key.
Lovely.
But yeah, that's he pulls that out and he looks out the corner of his eye at how far him.
I would I raise up my brush shaft, and a faint shine approaches over it with the blood red. It creates a red effect over the brush shaft, and my eyes glow red with fury.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
This is a very different side of Rupert.
No one's here to see this side. He's
Yeah.
embracing his darkness, I think.
Well, I never.
Okay. You see a moment in the goblin's eyes where they flick back up to you, and then they flick back down to the probably 150-foot drop behind him. And the goblin just lets himself go backward.
I will shout back at him. Let that be a lesson to you!
Okay, as you see... I assume you're approaching the edge now.
Yeah.
As you see the goblin fall, he seems to just plummet. I mean, artfully. This is like Pierce Brosnan leaping off the dam. See him just plummet like a sparrow for maybe 50, 70 feet. And then he turns so that he's facing the ground. And the knife that he pulled out of his pocket, he holds out in front of him and then twists it. And he disappears through a door that you'd never seen before. Just a door in the middle of nowhere that then shuts behind him.
I sit down, I cast Goodberry, and I eat one Goodberry.
Okay. Are you casting Goodberry for a second time this morning? Or are you eating the good berries that you cast
The
last session?
infinite good berry.
I'm eating one and contemplating what I just saw,
Okay.
amongst
Are good
enjoying
berries-
the beauty of the red.
Are good berries a cantrip or are they...
They're a cantrip. No, they're level 1.
Okay, so you've cast... We'll say you've only cast them once this morning.
Okay.
And you're on your second good berry.
Yep.
So back in the tavern, back in the Giant Slayer's Inn, there's a banging at the door and a measuring of swords. The guard now sees that Gildren is in the room. He's trying to sort of persuade Gildren to help him out here. And he's saying, "You there, Gildren, you once served one of the great houses. I call upon you as a bannerman of the crown to help me to arrest these people who I assume have broken into your establishment. I would hate to think that they were staying here."
A lot of presumptions.
We were let in here under good pretenses. I have talked with Gildren for at least half an hour, and we are good friends. I count him as one of us. We are guests of his.
Gildren places his hand on the knight's shoulder, and he says, "They are guests of mine." You think maybe he's squeezing a bit tightly. You see some of the armor just buckle a little bit.
I think you need to calm down your emotions, Sonny. I think this is all a big misunderstanding. We are on the same side after all.
He says, "We will see about that in a crown court. The fury of the princess will decide your innocence."
I'm sure she will, and she will take one look at me and understand that I am from the Order of the Seekers, and she will remember. Actually, what race is this princess? I presume you're a human.
She is a human.
Damn it. Okay, we're screwed then.
There's a moment where he's a bit like, "You're not from round here."
Now, if you'll excuse me, I want to go and find my friend. And Ward will try and push past the guard to go downstairs.
Okay. You can tell in the guard's body language that he tries to step forwards to prevent you, but his shoulder is firmly anchored to where Gildren is holding it.
Cool, right. I will just go straight past him and down towards the front door. And I'll shout there, "Fulgrim, are you coming? Baldwin, are you coming?
I will go.
That is your name.
It sounded quite right. If the soldier lets me, I shall go. If not, I will respect his decision. I do not want to cause trouble. I just feel like it's a misunderstanding, and we should be focusing on the goblin, rather than petty arguments like this.
Okay. The guard, he doesn't want you to leave, but he can't move, and he's not going to start swinging a sword whilst there's a giant holding him in place. So he's kind of trapped in a authority limbo.
Yeah.
Some might say it's good for us to have friends in high places.
Heyo.
Hey.
Zing.
I will say, on my honor, I will return to see this concluded. And I will just move to go past him.
Yep, you can go past if you so wish.
Yep. I will be bolting my tiny little legs up afterward.
Okay.
Right, yes. So Ward will go straight to the front door, and he'll rip it open and head out into the street.
Okay, as you open the front door, about to knock again on the door,
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
sort of, with fist raised in knock suspense, you see a tall, feminine figure in a gown and a turban, dressed in blues, in bright cyan colours. Here is... Let's drag that.
It's not the princess, is it?
It is not the princess. The figure looks surprised to see you as you step out and says, "Oh, hello." And as it speaks, you realise that rather than being a tall lady, it is in fact a man, which is sometimes very difficult to tell the difference.
Begging your pardon, but I am on a mission of great import. I will have to talk to you later. And Ward will bow and then walk past this person.
The person is kind of baffled and forgets formality. And I was about to say the same thing. I'm also on a mission of great importance. Is my friend Gildren here?
Yes, he's upstairs dealing with rabble.
Right, very well. You go do your thing. You be you. I've got... I mean, we both have important business to deal with. It would be a shame to impede one another's business, wouldn't it? And he steps back and sort of gestures for you to continue with whatever it was you were doing.
Jolly good. I surge past with increased vigor.
Yes, and Ward will try and look in the direction that he thinks Reverb would have gone, and try and track him from the street instead.
Okay. Meanwhile, back on the rooftops, I'm picturing Reverb sitting at the top of this enormous wall, little legs just dangling off it.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'm just letting the air flow through my free-formed legs.
Yeah. So as the moon sets behind you, the sun begins to rise in front of you.
Uh-huh.
And you can see where once the horizon was a smooth, rolling grassland. You can see now, as your eyes focus, the twilight begins to pass. You can see what look like just lines of spears and shields. Tiny little, just they look like grass all along the horizon. And there is a shadowy silhouette that looks like some inhuman monstrosity, something you've never seen before, that at first looks like maybe a goat the size of a mammoth, and then you kind of compare it to the little spears next to it and realize that this thing must be the size of maybe a small town.
Yeah.
And it crests the hill, and it's still only in silver at this point. And as it crests the hill, you begin to get some idea of its shape, and it's a goat with 6 legs and 8 knees per leg, and its legs are gangly and long and really disproportionate, like a Dali painting.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem to have a head, and its scale is unfathomable. You cannot work it out, and it seems to just be moving in a very distorted and way. At some moments you can't tell if it looks maybe made out of big flat plates, and at other moments organic, like it's got hair hanging from it. You really can't work out what this thing is, but it's big. That's the upshot of what you can tell is now approaching the city.
Oh, lovely. I'd like to slap myself in the face and try and wake up.
You, for all you can tell, you are awake.
Oh, lovely. I make my way down the steps
Okay.
and see if I can meet up with my buddies.
Okay. So you probably meet up back with them somewhere near where the four bridges meet the pub, and they're sort of just heading out to look for you, and you're coming back in the other direction.
Mm-hmm. Ah, hello.
Rhubarb.
Beautiful to see you again. You will never guess what happened to me.
Well, you're not dead, so that's a big bonus.
Well, definitely. However, there's a big goat heading our way.
You
What?
sure you're feeling all right, Rhubarb? Is this
Well,
another one of your crazy dreams?
I can't tell. Perhaps you'd like to come up and witness this for yourself. And maybe throw your own judgment on what you see over the horizon.
All right. Lead the way, Rhubarb.
What happened to that goblin you were chasing?
Do I have to? It's all the way up there, and I've just ran that way. As I look up, I continuously look up and just see stairs upon stairs, and it seems like the stairs have doubled since I saw them before.
You know what, Rhubarb? We'll take your word for it. There's a big goat outside, of course. And Ward sort of pats him on the head.
I feel like an inch shorter.
Okay.
The hobgoblin.
The towers along the wall. You realise that one by one beacons along the towers are being lit.
Oh,
So that
dear.
can't be a good sign.
No, it's probably because of that goat.
Oh, so you're actually telling the truth. You're not playing funny with me. Ah, I see.
Why would I tell a lie?
I honestly don't know. I thought you could be pulling my leg. The wooden one, not the metal one.
By the way, the goblin vanished.
Vanished?
Yeah, he vanished through a door, just over there.
Okay, he's definitely dreaming. Goblins don't just vanish through doors. They're stupid, primitive little creatures. They don't know how to do stuff like that.
Well, I saw what I saw.
I'm sure you did, little Rhubarb. Like
Well-
the doll in your dream.
That doll was real. I wipe a tear off my cheek.
Well, maybe we should take this information back to that annoying guard that was in the giant slayer. Maybe he'll want to know more about this. It may prove that we're on the side of good and order, indeed.
Yes, I would love some breakfast.
As you turn back towards the tavern, you see the guards running off into the city in the opposite direction. Gildren has let go of him, and he's gone to go and dob you in. Tell his higher ups that he's been mistreated or something.
Well, he was clearly in the wrong, and he has left us to our own devices. That is most pleasing. That he finally saw some sense. Fantastic.
So Gildren's in the room with us now?
Gildren is waiting in the tavern if you're heading back that way.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, as we're entering, I'm sort of hanging back a little. I'm shuffling through my left sleeve, and I
Yeah.
take out the dice, and I'm rolling them at Gildren. Oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I was expecting at all. I just say to myself, and I just shuffle them back and think nothing else of it. Although, actually, it's low enough to get a bit of question. Right, Gildren,
Okay.
are you
As
free
you
to
walk
talk?
in. As you walk in, you kind of catch the tail end of their conversation.
Hmm.
And the mage was saying, and then the goblins just disappeared. And I thought, that's not like a goblin to disappear. They're primitive creatures. Oh, hello. You're back. Did you... He points at Ward and he says, did you complete your very important task?
Yes, my very important task is right here. And Ward points to Rhubarb. We found him.
Oh, good. The world is saved.
You're noticing
Hello.
that she just said what I just said. I furiously get the dice out again. And I just freeze and I'm staring at her. I'm like, would you mind explaining who you are?
Yes. I'm a good friend of Gildren's, actually. I've gone by so many names that I kind of, I don't know you, so I might as well. Gildren calls me Sally, but I believe it's a joke.
Hello, nice to meet you, Sally.
I
don't
really
get it.
regret introducing myself with the one nickname that I actually lament.
Well, Sally sounds like a mighty name to me, so it is good to meet you. And Ward sticks out his hand.
Thank you very much. A levitating, slightly glowing golden hand protrudes forth just from nowhere. It's a mage hand, comes forward to shake your hand.
Well, that is very fascinating indeed.
Gildren, was this the friend that you were speaking of, who you were expecting?
Yes, it's Sally. Slaps the mage on the back.
Hmm.
The mage says, please call me Craywood.
Craywood.
I think I'll stick with Sally.
Where did you get the name Craywood?
It's probably the oldest name I remember going by, or at least the name I've gone by for the longest. It's very hard to tell. I've cleared a lot of room for spells in my head by forgetting things, and it's difficult to remember which things I've forgotten, but I'm pretty sure Craywood is my name, probably my second name. I imagine keeping that would have been more important than keeping the first one, which is usually quite generic. Could have been Sally for all I know, but I feel like it probably...
Sally Craywood. Perfect. Nice to meet you. Again.
So, how did you two meet?
We fought together in the last campaign. The one after the young princess was kidnapped.
Oh my.
And what a fantastic coincidence that you arrive here just on the eve of a giant goat apparently showing up beyond the walls. Very coincidental indeed, hmm?
In fact, that goat was approaching the Castle Greygrass when I left Castle Greygrass only weeks ago. In fact, I've been fleeing from it.
Oh, fleeing, you say?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I was speaking at the same time as you. Very rude.
My mistake, sorry. Continue.
Oh, of course. I believe it to be the ancient city of Mimic.
Ancient city of what?
Mimic. I'm not sure if you've ever... A mimic is a kind of... It's a bit monster and it's a bit object, you see. Sometimes it's a monster that pretends to be an object, but they don't often live very long, and those that do sometimes forget that they're monsters and just become objects. And they stay as objects forever. But those that don't forget, I believe, sometimes may grow so enormous as to wander the earth. And I believe the city of Mimic, you know, the last of the great titans. You must know of the great titans.
Surely the Great Titans was built on Tintato.
And Tintato was built to slay the Great Titans. So we believe. That's our best knowledge on the subject. But really, people didn't seem to write much down in those days. Maybe there were a lot of library fires. I don't know. I'm really more of a speculative historian.
I'm more of a doer than, a reader. I like to make my own history. I haven't done much, but I'm working on it.
I like to think we're all making history every day. But in the future. Because in the future, this will be the past. It's very clever.
Indeed.
And what do you
Gildred-
intend to do now that you're in the city? May I ask?
Well, you see, I travelled here through the sideway, and I noticed a lot of strange activity and I came to warn Gildren. I thought maybe he could get me an audience with the princess. I feel this must have something to do with her coronation.
Hold on a second. Through the sideway?
Yes, the sideways. Oh my goodness, there's so much to explain. Have you ever heard of the Feywild?
No.
Okay, so Reburb, you grew up in a forest. You may have never heard of the Feywilds.
I probably haven't heard of it very much, to be honest.
Okay, but you do remember when you were a young mushroom, you used to run by the babbling brook in the Feywilds
Uh-huh.
and play with your brother and sister mushroom. And then one day you ran too far from them and you found yourself in a normal wood, not the Feywilds. And then obviously you remember that you're not a mushroom and none of that ever happened to you.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, you realize that you still have some memories left over from when you exchanged the Myconid that you traveled to Tintato.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the Feywilds.
I see. Gildren, what do you think of this giant goat?
Gildren says, I had a friend once, a gnomish fellow, travelled with Drin and I. He once said that he saw the city of Vic. He described it as a kind of, he said mammal spider. He said it had 8 or 10 legs, and it seemed to balance conceivably, teetering from side to side. We all crazy.
I don't know about you, but you're cutting out a little bit, Chris.
Yeah, sorry, I don't think we got some of that.
Yeah. So taking a little break. Chris, are you okay?
Oh no.
Let's just pause the screen for a second.
Go and get a cup of tea.
Yeah, go have a stretch, get a cup of tea. Are you enjoying the stream so far? We're just going to be waiting for our DMing friend to return back, and hopefully everything will be fine. What do you guys think about this Dali-esque giant creature?
Are you asking us out of character?
Yeah, out of character, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We have a giant slayer here. He'll just one-shot it.
You think?
Easy.
He'll
Yes.
god roll it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Well, I'm fairly sure Ward is about to propose that we aid the city and show them that we are true heroes. So I'm about to put you all in harm's way. So there you go.
Sounds good.
Damn it, Ward.
I mean, level 2 and all, but
Yeah, may as well get pickings while it's good.
I've got 24 health. I can't die.
Oh shit, am I back?
Yes.
I mean, oh
Back,
flip, I remember.
How?
It's all right. I think we're on pause anyway on the stream. So
Cool.
Yeah. You okay there, Chris? Oh dear. Am I okay?
You're okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So it's just Chris, is it? Maybe he might have to reset his internet. We have some jolly music playing right now as well. It's great.
It's a message, Chris. Tell him we can't hear him.
What a beautiful sing-song tune. It's a shame that you guys can't hear it.
I can hear it on the stream now. So.
Ooh. How
I can
about
still
that?
hear your voice on the screen on the stream, by the way.
Yeah. How about that epic jump though?
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I thought you're like
Yeah.
100% dead. If he ever just turned around to fight you, it'd be like, oh, I cast good berries.
Yeah, I genuinely thought the goblin was going to turn around and just be like, "Why am I running away from him?" Just
Guy with a
stab
brush.
you. Yeah.
Just stab me once and then I
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Campaign over. You died. I don't know. I think.
I wish our combo launching you up into the balcony worked. It half worked.
Yeah, basically just climbed up me, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think I will become a bit more powerful this time around. But I have to be mindful of what I cast.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
In sense of you don't want to look too powerful too soon, or
Yeah.
all right. That's
Don't
the
wanna
best
be-
thing about just having a sword. You're constantly as powerful as people see you to be.
Any word back from Chris?
No, he's not in the room anymore. So
Ah, okay.
I would assume he has dropped and he's doing something about it. At the moment,
Yeah.
so.
I think we've got Martin in the chat anyway, and he's excited. He's toe tapping. He's impatiently waiting.
Hopefully, he'll be back.
I was watching Martin. Martin was doing a stream there, and he was showing off how to use green stuff. Some cool results.
That's pretty awesome.
Is that Chris back?
Well, sounds like it.
Woohoo!
I've got. I mean, I can hear you, which presumably means the internet's working, or
Yes.
you're in my house.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm in your kitchen, Chris.
Touching your stuff.
Starting fires.
Wee 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 wee.
Well, that was
Uh,
our weekly mid-show.
Yeah, don't worry. We can stitch it all together in post. It's yeah,
Cool.
we'll rewind time.
yeah. We'll do it on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we
Well,
ready to go back?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Think so.
Not making any promises, but
All right. Back to the tavern.
where did I cut out?
I think the mage person was talking about. Were they talking about Sideways? Was that it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I was asking Guildwin.
Sally Craywood. Yeah.
What I was asking Guildwin what he thought about the giant six-legged goat.
Okay.
So, Guildwin, what do you think about the giant six-legged goat?
I believe it sounds. It sounds like it could be. I mean, it sounds big enough to be one of the ancient titans that that Tintato was built to fight. But I mean, if that's even true,
I don't imagine that puts us in a very good place, though, does it? If there is a mighty titan coming towards the city and Tintato, the thing that was meant to destroy it, is currently not.
under us.
Yeah.
We have Gildren Ryan, the Giant Slayer. No match for you, right, Gildren?
I
Right, Gildren?
yeah, there's a moment in Gildren where he's just like, I no.
This is how Faldwin feels every time Wood bigs him up about something, probably.
Don't worry. I still have the Hammer of Grovenheim.
The
A
giant,
good hit and that giant's down.
the giant
Okay.
slayer inn isn't actually a giant slayer. It's more like giant's lair.
Yeah, so the mage chimes in and he says, I agree that this is a problem. Don't let me diminish your worries about the enormous titan coming to destroy the city. However, I do feel like it's probably connected to the activity that I've seen in the Sideways recently, and that's really why I'm here.
What
Oh.
activity have you seen in the Sideways, then, Sally?
There's a slight wince when you call him Sally. I have seen the goblins and the crows seem to be fighting each other in the corridors.
Crows, did you say?
Yes, the crows.
A shiver.
Do you have a problem with crows?
The
No.
mage looks down and notices that he has a tiny black feathered dart sticking out of his side. Plucks it out and looks at it.
Cure poison, cure poison, cure poison. Da-da.
Do
Did
either
that
of
just strike
us?
you?
Do either of us recognize what the dart is from?
No, I don't think either of you have any experience of this
What's
kind
their
of weapon.
What's their expression like? Like they've just been hit by this all of a sudden?
There's a kind of look of worry as he studiously looks at the tip of the dart, and he looks up and he says,
I like to feed him a good berry straight away.
Okay. He can't chew. His jaw is kind of...
I chew it for him and I spit it in his mouth and I hold his mouth shut.
Okay.
Head to like
Gildren looking really worried as you're spitting in his friend's face. He puts a giant hand in your chest and kind of pushes you back and he says, give him some air. He's not
head
well.
to the window or the trajectory of where the dart had entered and head in that direction, kind of raising up the shield. Oh no, I don't have my shield actually. I'll just head to the window and I'm sort of peering out for anything.
The room is sealed. You
Oh,
get the impression this dart could have been there. Could be a slow acting poison. It could have been there 10 minutes. Could have been there before he arrived.
What exactly is wrong with him?
It looks like he's been poisoned. Some kind of goblin trick, maybe.
Can I
Poison.
try to use
Goblin.
my herbalism kit and use medicine?
Yeah, you can.
as you're doing that, I'll cast guidance on you, which allows you to D4 onto another player's ability check. So I'm just
Right.
like, see what you're doing, like you're getting out the herbal stuff, and I have no idea how to help this person because I don't have any like anti-poison stuff. So I
You
just see
roll
you
with
doing business.
advantage because you've got the herbalism kit. So roll with advantage, then add 4.
So that's 16.
Okay. So Gildren trusts your wisdom on the issue, and he's cradling in Gildren's arms the spindly body of this elf. It just seems so tiny and brittle. The elf's gone completely pale, as you're kind of, I assume, just chewing up herbs and pushing them into his mouth or nose. I don't know.
Yep.
Talk me through the process.
So inside my herbalism kit, which is essentially whatever I can find inside my beard, I know from a fact of lying around the woods that I've lay certain ways in certain areas. So, like I could have aloe vera in one segment, and then maybe some lavender in another, just to relax the nerves for some other people. But what I'll be doing is I'll be looking for something that can cure, possibly an antidote towards a generic poison.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out strands of hair, putting it in my mouth, chewing it up, and then spitting it in, and then just like smearing it onto his tongue and making him swallow, if I can. I'm like holding his nose down and making him like gasp for air so that he'll swallow it.
Okay. There's a bit of retching, and the one of his arms, he doesn't seem to have much control over his hand, but everything above his elbow, so elbow to shoulder, he seems to be able to control. And he's flapping his arm into his robe, like he's trying to get something out.
Okay, I feel inside his robe.
Okay, there's some movement in there. Something's moving around under his arm.
I try and pull it
He
out.
has a cat as well, yes.
Okay, you pull it out, and it is a ruby red quill.
A ruby. Oh.
Yeah, and it's kind of twitching a little bit and moving.
Interesting. I put the quill to paper or a writing area nearby.
Yeah, does anyone have any paper on them, or send Gildren to find paper, or what's the plan?
Gildren, quick!
I have a scroll case that has some paper in it.
Oh,
So Ward will reach into his backpack and pull out just this scroll case and give it to Rhubarb. I assume you know what you're doing.
Nope! Well, I take it anyway.
okay. As you put the quill to the paper, the first thing the quill writes is get some paper. Put the quill to paper. Oh, thank God, that's it. Just like that. And then it starts writing. I don't know how long I've got. Your herbs are, depending on your skill. Maybe you've bought me some time. Maybe I'll be fine in the morning. I really don't know how this poison works, but I need you to warn the princess.
Warn the princess of what?
Yes, warner of what?
I believe that by traveling through the sideways, the goblins or the crows, or the goblins and the crows working together, maybe they're planning something for the coronation. You've got 3 days.
Great.
Then we should take this news to the princess immediately. We cannot have her dying while the goblins are attacking.
How do we find the princess?
Well, I believe that guard said he was going to take us in front of the princess and get some sort of magisterial justice. Maybe we should go and talk to him.
We just need to get ourselves arrested again.
Well, that
Huzzah!
seems perfectly fine. He was very adamant in arresting
I
us.
believe I've cut out again, haven't I?
No, you're here. Hello? Oh.
Oh.
Let's go.
Oh dear, technical difficulties, I'm afraid.
Oh man, I was so excited to get arrested. I thought I'd go out and make some fires. Do some arson.
Sorry again, folks. Can the people hear us on the screen? They can?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry again, folks, for this. It seems like we got some technical snafus happening as we get into this week's adventure, I'm afraid.
Welcome, Amanda. Hi, Smiling Yak and Laughing Boy. I think we're still get these guys left. Do you? Oh, we've also got Ollie and Ollie Hoppo. Thanks for joining in. Are you guys enjoying the stream, or is there anything you think we could improve on, other than cutting out mid-sentence?
I don't want to know what I can improve on because I can't take criticism very well.
Shut up, Paul.
Oh dear. Well, you know what I need? If this was any other sort of roleplay setting for us to be in, like if we were around a tabletop, I would immediately have thrown all of my dice away and bought a new set because my
Yeah.
dice just continue. to roll terribly. It's like I've been given a cursed set.
It's only on like non-fighting skills though.
Exactly, yeah. Like, when I need to hit something, I can do it. But anything that War wants to do that isn't talking, it just seems to not work. So
It's okay, we all have our moments.
that's, yeah. It just means, like, hopefully all this karma, this dice karma will build up, and then when it comes to the next combat, I'll, like, one-shot an enemy with a nice critical or something. So,
Just smear this goat across the land.
yeah. All those failed intimidation checks were worth it.
So, how is everyone doing this week in the chat, and for you guys as well? How's things being?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm being quite productive. Sort of. Got a good mindset about me these days.
Awesome.
I'm playing some Dying Light, which is like surprisingly good.
Dying Light, is that the little 2D?
No. It's like first person zombie
Yeah,
parkouring.
Oh,
I got like the Game of the Year edition for like £3, I think,
Very
on the
cool.
last Steam sale. And it's like one of those games that when it came out, I was just like, meh, no interest. But now I got it for like £3. It's like a very good game.
it's the best game ever.
Well, I mean, for the price, it's like just very solid.
Uh-huh.
I've been playing Destiny 2 and
Yeah.
enjoying every second of it. So it has been exceptionally good so far.
I've
I
been
never
playing
understand the appeal of
Bejeweled.
those games. Yeah, I saw that Bejeweled 3. And it's
Yeah, the other night I was tired. I was coming home and
Hello.
hello.
I decided I'd play some Bejeweled because it was a quick download and I just wanted some like quick arcade puzzle game, and I've been enjoying it, especially with the announcer as well, like level complete.
That could be the voice for your next role-playing character as
Yeah.
well. Then
It's not as good as Tetris on the Xbox because it was like Tetris. It was so sexy. It was like
that
this.
flock fitted
it's
just
like-
right.
It was like female voices like double, triple. It was so good. Okay, we'll get back to D&D. Are you okay, Chris? Everything
Yeah,
good?
when did I... What was I saying when I cut out this time?
We were about to go start some fires and get arrested.
I see. I think I missed more than I thought I did. But that's cool. I'll work it out.
I kind of came to that by myself. I don't know if the rest of the guys agree.
Yeah, I don't think we agreed to that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm already starting up tinder blocks. Tiny sparks come out of my beard. Is Chris still here, or is he? Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I can hear me.
Good.
I can always hear me.
Good.
So yeah, what's like as he said before. I mean, of course, if we go and find this guard, he will be able to take us to this palace or whatever, and we will be able to find the princess and warn her of what is approaching from the sideways, as your friend Sally calls it.
The quill scribbling down is writing, I believe you'll have to go through the sideways to get to her.
I'm afraid I am no practitioner of magic. Would one of my friends be able to do this to get us into the sideways, wherever this may be? If it is indeed a place of magic.
The quill starts writing, it's fine. I can do magic. That's fine. I've got the magic element of this covered. Just let me concentrate for just a little while. And the quill begins to move off of the paper, and it's leaving a kind of a stuttered ink line along the floor as it goes, and it starts making its way towards the wall. And then it reaches the wall, and it starts making its way up the wall, and it starts very intricately drawing something on the wall.
Great. Just what we need. Something magical to walk through. It's pretty much what happened with that goblin.
Okay, so, and outside you can hear the sound of a horn blowing a long way away.
Oh no. Is this because the beacons were lit?
Tato calls for aid.
So what's happening with this portal? Is this something that Gildren is happy about, with a portal opening up in his tavern?
Gildren is more worried about the fact that his friend is deathly ill.
Gildren, there's no time for that. She'll be fine in the morning. I think.
He says, someone must look out for her. Him. Someone must look out for him.
You stay here, Gildren. We'll go through the sideways, and we will find our way towards the princess.
Where exactly will this sideways take us? Where will we end up?
I'm not the expert. The expert is dying here on my floor.
Not sure I was asking. That's where my gaze is. Sorry, I did not make that obvious. My eyes are.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of pressure right now.
I can understand.
So what's happening with the wall and the door with this quill?
The quill seems to be drawing an arched doorway onto the wall.
Okay.
At the moment, it's busy cross-hatching the grain of the wood on the door's paneling. And if anyone inspects it very closely, the cross-hatching is runic in nature.
Ward will walk over to it and he'll sort of push it with a finger, like he assumes maybe it's already a door now, and he just pokes it.
It smudges a little bit, and the pen comes back to where your finger was and starts redrawing it underneath where your finger.
Slaps your hand away.
Very sorry.
Damn it, he said give him a minute. He needs to concentrate. Can I just open the door and have a look outside? See what's going on?
Yeah. So outside there's now guards running up these zigzag staircases that lattice the walls, the inside of the walls. They're not in battle-ready armor. They're in leathers, and they're carrying bows and picking up quivers off the walls as they go. The torches along the wall have now been joined by smaller torches on each crenellation, and the city is in suspense. There's a tangible air of fear surrounding the city.
Could I make a counter-argument that we do not use the sideways created by this mage, and that we merely use my reputation to gain us access to the princess's, audience room?
Faldoran, we kind of tried that before, and it didn't seem to work.
When?
When we tried to get into Tintato.
That was different. Wait, I will use the Heart of Zalkazan, and I quickly put the hands over it, and I'm like, yep, here you go, he agrees with my plan.
I do like a tiny face palm. Like, Zalkazan again.
Do not mock the great Zalkazan.
Oh, I thought you didn't hear that.
No, a very good hearing. It's enhanced by this ring.
Might you be afraid to go into this sideways, folk?
I do not fully trust Sally here.
Well, in my mind, if Gildren trusts him, then I trust him too.
Do not find it suspicious that a goblin came into this very inn and waited as if it was safe. I do not like that as a coincidence. Gildren said that he had friends coming here the next day, and suddenly a goblin army appears. I have rolled the dice of fate, and I have seen things that are not favorable to their cause. Although it does not outright say that they're up to no good, still it has made me unwary. Wary indeed. Not
Well,
unwary.
You are wise to be wary of this situation, Faldwin. And we are in a strange city full of strange people who are all very, very rude. But Gildren has been extra kind to us, and I believe his friend is trying to be a good person as well. if he has the princess's best wishes at heart, and this is the best way that we should meet her, then surely this is the right thing to do.
Well, perhaps. I like the way you analyze things, Ward. You see things from a very human angle, I feel. Not the race human, I mean like a mortal angle. Ugh, humans.
Well,
And,
thank you very much. I fundamentally believe in the goodness of all creatures, including you, Faldrin.
Well, I will take that as a compliment. Then I will agree to do what you have decided. I will risk this and step into the sideways.
And bear in mind, of course, Faldrin, that
I've lost
if we
Chris.
step through this gateway, and we find out that it is a terrible place on the other side, we can just step back through. I'm sure that would be fine.
Yes, I'd like to believe that's how it works also.
Perfect. Our plan is settled.
Are you two okay? Do we need some counseling?
No, I'm totally fine. I believe that I have created a perfect situation for us to go forward.
Beautiful. Has the door been opened yet?
One believes that our narrator may have lost connection to our story once again. In which case, Ward will carry on. So, little ones, sit down and let me tell you a story.
Oh, hurrah! I get out a good berry and just...
I love backstory. I just sit and listen.
Well, when I was a little Warforged, when I mean actually not a little Warforged, when I mean I woke up and I had little left of me and I had to put myself back together, I suppose, I was in the temple and I was surrounded by skeletons, which was quite terrifying, but, alright in the end. And as I made my way out of the temple, I found myself in a large wood. And in this wood, it was filled with orcs. And guess what I did?
What did you do? What did you do?
Made friends.
Well, I tried to make friends, and one of them punched me in the face. So, I went and stole one of their swords, and I cut his head off. And then I cut the next guy's head off, and the next one, and the next one after that. And at that point, I realized I'd cut my way through most of the forest. And at that day, I also learned that orcs are very, very bad people, and we should definitely not make friends with them.
So the moral of the story is murder can get you out of almost every situation.
And that's a perfect thing for our narrator to come back into.
You guys just killing time, are you?
Yes.
No.
We killed
Well-
Gildren while you were away.
Oh, that's fair enough.
We're waiting for the portal to open.
At this point, the portal has been fully drawn, and when stood directly in front of it, it does look three-dimensional. From the side, you could see the illusion does not hold true, but from the front, it does.
Sweet. Can I cast knowledge, or let's see what I have? Like, I want to.
Arcana, maybe?
Yeah, Arcana. I want to see if I know what this spell is.
Okay.
Okay, and -1. I'm not very good with Arcana. Unfortunately.
Okay. It's some kind of planar door.
Ooh. It's some kind of planar door. I think it should be safe. I can't say for certain, though.
That fills me with confidence that you think it's safe, Reverb. I'm kidding.
Oh, you.
Well, since we are all in agreement that this might be slightly terrifying, I will go first. Does that sound fair?
Well, it's less terrifying than a giant goat.
That is also true. Gildren, you stay here and look after your friend Sally. Make sure they are fine. And we will go and warn the princess and be the valiant heroes of this story. I do enjoy it. And Ward will step towards the door briskly.
Okay.
I will flick a good berry towards Gildren, like, in case he needs it.
Yeah, it bounces off Sally's turban and rolls around on the floor, and neither of them really noticed that it was cast at them.
It's alright. I probably misaimed anyway.
Okay.
We
So
all-
you try the door handle?
Yes.
Okay, the door handle seems to move. It appears when you move the door handle, it's like a video game polygon of a door handle, but someone has skinned that polygon with the texture of the wall that was behind the door before the illusion was cast. So it seems to come away as it like a door handle would. But obviously Ward has none of those visual references to paint this picture, but he can see it with his eyes because he exists in this world, whereas you can't. So
It just looks weird. Yeah, Ward will push through and go through the other side.
okay, the door opens, and you find yourself looking at what looks like a fancy mansion on the inside. Like there's a corridor with wallpaper that's cream and green, and there's ornaments standing on side tables, and
I don't recognize any of the layout or the decorations from that partial dream I had.
you recognize everything.
I'm like, I want to go back. I want to go back.
I
kinda
grab
scurry
Foldwin
past.
and
Okay.
I yank him back in.
The quill follows you through the door as you go.
This is where I met the Queen Crow.
Are you talking about that Did you tell us about that?
I did, in great length and detail.
Oh, of course you did, yes.
I remember it vividly.
Do you
Well,
remember the way, Foldwin?
I did not get far. The corridor just kept going on a loop. Though I felt the Queen Crow was good. I checked her alignment with the dice, and she was good, but the atmosphere just wasn't right. It was not normal to walk into such a place.
Well, at least we have one ally in this place. I believe this strange quill belonging to Sally is following us. Does it seem to be going? Does the quill seem to be going ahead of us, or is it waiting with us, or is it?
It's dropped on the floor.
Oh, you still have the oh, I guess Chris might have dropped, but I guess you still have the paper board. Perhaps attach it to your back, so that she may write upon it. I mean, he.
Genius.
Sounds like a perfectly fine idea to me. And Ward will give. I don't know why I've explained this. Ward gives the paper to Foldwin to put onto his back.
We'll
I
have to
will,
tell Chris.
I will grab some like gum out of like gum tree or something, something sticky from my beard, put it in my mouth and spit on.
Oh,
Spit in your back. just so he can stick the paper to you. So giant.
I don't think that was quite necessary, Burb. I attached it to the leather strap here, but I admire your enthusiasm.
Oh well, I guess we can stick this other piece of paper here instead. Beautiful. So we're like painting a picture.
I came back.
Oh,
Welcome back.
welcome back, nightmare.
I love that every time I sign back in.
oh.
We may have to cut the stream a bit short.
Yeah, it
Unless-
seems like this problem is happening quite regularly, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think this is maybe a pretty good end game anyway. What do you guys think? Like, this is a good transition period.
Yeah, we'll pick up next time from inside here in the sideways for the first time. I think that sounds
Yeah.
like a good idea. Just so we don't have any more problems and Chris gets to actually tell us the story.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll be back next week with more D&D Boys Night, Nerds Night. Um, yeah.
Definitely Nerds Night.
We'll be back with more Nerds Night next Wednesday, 8 p.m. GMT. Thank you very much, Paul, and thank you very much, Ben, and Chris, regrettably away at the moment, but we'll say thank you to him later at the end of the stream. If you guys enjoyed this stream, feel free to follow, and we'll go check out the creative streaming on Twitch. They're full of some amazing people, and some people do amazing miniature painting. Thank you very much. That's all from us. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.